Alright, we are back with another series. This time we have a TVT. Same round, if I'm not mistaken. And for now we have Gamer Hells hopping in as observer. And let's just jump right into it. Spawning in the bottom left side, we have... what's the map name? Sacred Isles Winter Edition. Once again, we have the two Terrans. In the green, it is Patches, the creator of the map, actually. And his opponent, it is going to be the teammate. So I asked which name should I go after, and I got three answers. So we have our blue Terran, Ellis Drain, aka Dazetwelve, aka Maya. So whichever the viewers would prefer. Yeah, I did not host it, sadly. I got it in the first game, but I did not host it this time. I joined the lobby. I'll let them know to actually... I also have no idea who's... I have no idea who's actually in the lead. We'll see. So for now, we have no idea who's in the lead. It's game 2. One of these players already scored a point. Okay, so we have some info on this. Okay, we have an interesting scout. We're already discussing the good old strategy. And this one is actually an interesting map because the natural is a pocket base, and it is only 6 patches, which is really cool. So it's somewhat of a interesting concept. Don't want like a super free base with 8 patches. I always scout at 55 seconds pretty much. Bit of a Reaper battle. So factory's on the way for both players as well as the skill issue. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. Anyway, so we have the factory on the way as well as both players going for the reactor. Actually, Dazetwelve is going to be a bit faster on both of them, except for the CC. Patches is going for a third command center, so going for a more economical opener here. Will we see... yeah, we see the Cyclones. Okay, Patches canceled the Cyclone. I'm not sure why. Oh, it's going to be a swap with the add-on on the barracks. So we're gonna have 2 Cyclones versus the 1, and we have Marines and a starport on the way. The starport for Patches is going to be a bit late because obviously the gas is not enough. And that is interesting. Okay, third command center goes down after Patches already has his at halfway done. So Dazetwelve is going to be a tad bit behind in economy. Then again, the starport is going to be a lot faster. And we have an interesting thing here. We have another Reaper. So we're gonna have 2 Cyclones and potentially 2 Reapers. Never mind. It's gonna be 2 Cyclones and the Reaper, and we'll have 2 tech labs actually. Okay. On the side. Wait. So 2 barracks. Okay, one of... oh, right. Okay, there we go. So you actually have 3 Iraxes. Wait. That is interesting. That's how many Iraxes is gonna be that? That's gonna be 4 Raxes? Surely there's a 5th, right? Or will be a 5th. Yeah, I'm actually looking on the minimap and the structures tab as well, but nope, can't find it. Now what do we have? On the side of Dazetwelve we have a 1-1-1 into... okay, interference matrix. God damn, I have no idea about these TVT builds, honestly. So imagine forgetting the Christmas hat. Why me? I am not the host of this lobby. I just joined like a last minute replacement for like, I don't know, not even a replacement. I just there was an opening and the first series just ended all of a sudden. Okay, Patches is going to scout a tad bit around until that Reaper just explodes. I'm confused with these TVT builds, honestly. Like, that's 3 reactors on Raxes with a single tech lab, so Stim and Combat Shield will be a tad bit later, as if, I don't know, do you even get it off like 2 tech labs normally? I wonder. Oh, and there is, if I'm not mistaken, there's the 5th Rax and the 2 E-Bays. Do we have E-Bays on the side of Maya? Ooh, nope. That is not the case. Ooh, and Dazetwelve is going for a MECH follow-up. Single E-Bay, potentially for turrets? Is it? I suppose. Alright. How many tanks do we have? So Dazetwelve is rocking 4 tanks already and 3 Ravens, so that's going to help with a lot of this defense. Oh, and Patches should know this map, honestly. And there's going to be a Doom drop. Okay, single Marine just gets left behind. Oh, and there it is. Tanks are going to siege up. Where are the Ravens? The Ravens need to be in position. The CC needs to be lifted. Depots are going to go down. That might even... Oh, that is going to supply block Dazetwelve. There is the supply block, and there's a couple of Vikings. Tanks are being disabled. Medevacs are being hunted down. Ooh, and there should be pretty much enough. Ooh, 2 more shots from those Vikings, maybe. Ooh, it's going to lose 2 Marines, and those 2 Marines are going to get cleaned up as well. Patches loses quite a lot. But the army supplies are quite even. Supplies are quite even. There's that lonely Cyclone, and there is another pack of Marines. Tank repair is actually on point. Oh, there's a siege up. There should be a disable on off of those Ravens. There's no energy. Okay, finally that tank is getting cleaned up. So, after the dust settles, Dazetwelve is a tad bit ahead in supply, but not by too much. A couple of workers, a bit of an army supply lead. But obviously the mech army should be a bit beefier and easier to deal with. And we have double upgrades. But it's actually going to be the ground vehicles that gets the attack upgrade and the plating, which goes for both air and ground. Okay, Patch is going for that armory so he can start his 2-2 after 1-1 finishes. Combat Shield will finish soon, as well as we have a second tech lab as well somewhere on those Raxes, because Concussive Shell is also being made. So we're gonna have Concussive Shell Marauders, if I'm not mistaken. How many Marauders do we have so far? A single one. And 41 Marines versus the 7 tanks, 6 Vikings, 3 Ravens, and a Cyclone. And 4 Hellions, actually. Hellions could do well against tanks, right? So, versus Marines. What am I saying? Never mind. Why did I say tanks? I don't know why I said tanks, but that was stupid. Happens to the best, I guess. Okay, the barracks that has no use. I suppose you need to keep it alive if you want more factories later on. Okay, so Hellion Viking tank production. How many factories is that actually? It should be like 5. Okay, there it is. 5 factories. Oh my goodness, 4 tech labs. That is crazy. I'm waiting for the door transition, by the way. Okay, Patches dropping once again, keeping the activity high. Is trying to do something with these Marines, but these Marines are going to go down. That is a relatively easy cleanup. Both players hitting the 150 plus supply numbers. And Patches is a bit ahead in army supply, which is great, but obviously you need to hold back the mech player from expanding for free, and also need to hold back the mech player from maxing out, because maxing out as a mech player is quite scary for the bio player, as those units are super beefy. You just set up a billion tanks. Oh, one tank, speaking of tanks, one tank is going to go down. Patches sieges up 4 tanks, one on the high ground, 3 on the low ground. We need the Ravens to be sieged up, using those interference matrices. We need those tanks to be sieged up during the interference matrix and just literally just clap those siege tanks. Sensor tower is going to go down, no cancel on that. And the planetary is looking like going down. Oh, the planetary, will the repair be in time? I don't think it will be. Oh, just barely. Maya just repairing this planetary. No, planetary goes down, but there's another command center that gets finished, and now the disable comes forward from the Raven. Vikings could land, but probably will not be needed, so for now, Patches is on 5 command centers, while Dazetwelve is on... oh, I suppose it's also 5? Yep. Well, 5th starts now. Okay, now Dazetwelve is on the attack. Those Vikings are going to provide some very, very nice vision. Okay, oh my goodness, Patches is actually moving everything into the tank fire range. Oh my god. Oh, you'd say he learned his lesson, but I think he just did the same thing when I watched him this morning stream. Morning stream for me, but... oh my god, that was a lot of Marines. What is the units lost tab looking like? Oh my goodness, that is actually amazing. Wow, 123 Marines going down. Patches was active this game. Question is, did he do enough to slow down Dazetwelve? Our Green Terran looking to pounce with a bit of a hit squad. Obviously gets spotted by that sensor tower. This is actually a really, really good sensor tower position because it covers every single angle that could lead into that main. I'm not sure if you can sneak it on the right side. That is a good question. Scan goes down. Okay, the medevacs are going to move. Oh, there's the drop. It's going to drop on top of the tanks. Gonna try to snipe it. 2-2 is not yet finished, so those Marines are not exactly the tankiest. But also 2-2 just barely started for Dazetwelve. Viking is going to try to deal with that medevac, and they will deal with that medevac. And now these units are going to go down, but question is how much can they actually take with them? In the meantime, on the left side, Patches is actually trying to gun down that command center. If he could get that, that would be huge. That would be actually huge. He gets the command center, he gets the geysers as well. Just a little bit of a bonus. Huge oversaturation on this planetary, and this planetary is once again in an awkward position. Dazetwelve needs to siege up in case Patches tries to pounce at it, but there's no tanks with this. Oh, the tanks are actually sieging up. There's 2 tanks. Vikings are going to land. Is this going to be enough? The tanks have sieged up and they're going to start firing. Patches picks up and he's going to try to re-drop. Oh, the medevac goes down, just barely dropping out everything. Command center is moving out to that 5th location once again, trying to expand and keep that expansion. This is a really, really wild game. Patches maintaining the very, very nice worker count, and obviously that is going to allow him to just trade a bit more efficiently. Problem with mech is it's really hard to max out. Once you max out and start banking, it is going to be a lot so Dazetwelve needs to try and turtle. Ooh, that was a snipe and a half if I ever saw one. Those two medevacs have gone down without pretty much anything to their name. Patches is constantly active on the map. Obviously, that is what you should do. But is it going to be enough to defeat a mech player? Dazetwelve is running low on gas, which is quite an issue. Actually running low on minerals as well. 160 supply. I don't know if that's going to be enough. The turrets are going to do some decent damage onto those medevacs. Vikings are in position, but the tank for Patches sieges up and will try to take down as many units as possible. And it looks like Patches is going to break through. Vikings are going to land. Do they have enough damage to actually deal with this? They will deal with this, but the supply lead is actually still around 35 in favor of Patches. Patches is moving forward. Command centers need to be lifted. Both command centers are under fire. One of them is already burning. The second one will start burning soon. Dazetwelve needs to save it. Vikings are going to try to do their best. The tanks siege up successfully without going down, and they will try to clean this whole thing up. Factories are going to pump out more and more units here. Oh, is this going to be enough? Does Dazetwelve have enough to actually hold this? Vikings are going to go down. Unsuccessful drop party next to those tanks. Bit of a closer siege up. That command center already burns, and that command center is far away from home. That is going to go down. The natural of Dazetwelve is actually under fire. That pocket base. There's a couple of the command center, Oh, okay. Ooh, that was close. Okay, one more hit squad of Marines outside of the perimeter of Dazetwelve's 4th/5th. They can pounce towards each, well, I guess each of them? Wait, there's a... Okay, so they cannot go into the 3rd. There's a mineral line there. Hellbats are going to try and clean this up, but is this going to be possible? +3 weapons for the ground vehicles, going to mean a huge upgrade. And Infernal Pre-Igniters are also on the way, or better known as Blue Flame. Once again, another drop. Oh, but the Vikings snipe most of that that unit full, medevac full of units. Sorry. A couple medevacs go down once again, but does Patches have enough? No. That is a convincing no. Another pack of Marines is going to go in and probably will snipe the command center, but the tank is actually firing at that Marauder. Planetary survives. Oh, and that is going to be a bit of an economic damage here on the side of Dazetwelve, just gunning down a couple of SCVs with those Hellions. That is beautifully done. Dazetwelve needed probably even more to stay alive in this game, and probably that was quite enough, as Patches does not remake those SCVs, obviously. Not yet, at least. Maybe not at all. The difference is Patches has a giga chat bank, while Dazetwelve has to deal with with the poor mech players bank. So now these run-bys are going to mean a lot. Mules are going to go down, but those are not fresh mules, so... Oh, maybe those Hellions would have been better off at home. Tanks trying to siege up, but the tank is going to go down. One more tank is going to go down. Two tanks, once again, on top of that ramp, go down. And the third planetary stays alive because there is just simply not enough firepower. Oh! 3 tanks around with shots. Once again. Oh, this is going to be big. They line up. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is huge. That is going to be the whole mineral line and more SCVs going down. Patches all of a sudden losing workers left, right, and center. And that bank has just disappeared. Planetary is going to help out tremendously. Oh, but once again, they're lined up. Ooh, maybe a couple more SCVs going down. 53 workers left for patches. 66 for Dazetwelve. This is an exciting TVT, honestly. Both players putting up a hell of a fight. That's for sure. And also shout out to GamerHells for the amazing observing. Honestly, I can't remember when the last time was when I was just relaxed and just looked at the screen, and it's kind of weird that I don't have to like use my hands basically. So that is amazing. As well as these Vikings just trying to take down the Vikings of Patches, but there's too many Vikings for Patches. A couple of tanks are going to try and just siege up in the back for Patches. Oh, but the Marine Marauder squad is going to steam forward. Is this going to be enough? Patches is pretty much getting destroyed. Both players scanning, trying to just deal some damage. Oh, this Viking. This Viking is actually crucial. Does this Viking have the vision? Yeah, it has the vision. Okay. Another Helio run-by. These Helio run-bys are absolutely amazing. Absolutely perfect Helio run-bys by Dazetwelve. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Keeping Dazetwelve in the game. Just grinding down Patches slowly but surely. Obviously, +3 ground vehicle upgrade. Blue Flame. They just take out SCVs left, right, center. And obviously this map is actually quite nice to have these run-bys. It's quite open, so there's a couple of corridors where you can just sneak out some aliens. Oh, Liberator siege up, and that is going to be quite a lot of damage on top of those tanks. And defensive Liberator from Dazetwelve. Once again, a couple of SCVs going down. How many SCVs have gone down? 71 SCVs versus 58. Sorry, wait. No, that's 71 SCVs for Dazetwelve. And still, with these run-bys, Dazetwelve has only managed to take down 63 SCVs versus 71 that Patches took down. That is like a war crime, I think. I don't know, the casualties. Poor workers, right? This is amazing. And imagine, these are the best games, to be honest. The ones that you have no idea what the number of the game is. You forgot the Christmas hats that you should have put there. Well, I guess the players forgot who hosted the lobby. You know what? I'll take the blame as well. I didn't pay attention if it was hosted with it or not. So, happens to the best. But for the defense of the players, honestly, I think everybody is used to hosting with like WCS GameHeart or Observer++ or like something along those lines. Anyways, we have pretty much, I think, except for one base that Dazetwelve could take. Oh, never mind. Dazetwelve is actually down a base, right? Should be down a base. That's 8 bases versus 9 of Patches. Obviously, there's planetaries left, right, and center. All that stuff. But I'm just looking at the map, and Patches has taken one of Dazetwelve's bases. So that is a nice addition. Oh, as the tanks are actually gunning down those Marines, the shells are just burning through the Marine count. And the Marauders as well. Vikings land as well. But the Marines are literally running into the natural, into the, well, actually the third, and now into the main. They're just trying to create havoc and chaos, taking down as many units as possible before they get killed. Couple of them slip away and start chipping away at this command center. And these are 3-3 Marines and Marauders. Those could actually just destroy the command center if there's no attention paid or enough attention paid. Command center is burning. Hellbats are going to clean up the remainings. And Patches is still at 85 army supply. But Dazetwelve is actually... well, yeah, Dazetwelve is getting closer and closer to that max out. Patches has all the gas in the world. Nothing to spend it on. Obviously, I think one option would be ghosts, but those are probably like, unless you want to play like mass nukes, then ghosts are not the units that you want. Now both players have gathered a bit of money. Patches has gathered a bit of money as well. Army supplies are actually, both players' supplies are super close. It's neck and neck. And now we have a bit of a standoff, I suppose, with the armies being so close. Are they aware of each other? That's the question. Oh, the two tanks are going to be aware of this outpost of Marine Marauder, but those are on hold positions, so Patches is actually going to lose these. Oh my god, Patches just losing some of them. Obviously, we did not mention, but Smart Servos is done. There's no further upgrades, by the way. There's no +3 plating, no +2 air weapons either. Ship weapons is what they are called, I think. And now, oh, there's a billion Vikings for Dazetwelve. Medevac is going down, and I believe Dazetwelve has punched through the army of Patches. Patches trying to just gather up any forces he can. But Dazetwelve is pushing forward, and I think we will have a conclusion unless these Vikings are actually going to go down. That's going to be a lot of the supply. The tanks are not sieged up. Potentially some unsieged action over here. And now the Viking count is back in the favor of Patches. Well, actually only a single Viking more than the Dazetwelve's Viking count. Obviously these Vikings are going to stay landed. Now the Vikings of Patches land, trying to get some tanks sniped, but that's probably not going to be enough. Tanks are already sieging up on top of that ram. Is this going to be the last fight that we have in this map? Well, I'm not sure if it's a series, but potentially this is going to be the last one. Our blue Terran is pushing through. And the mech army just hits like a train. Though the supplies are not that extremely far apart, the problem is Patches has no money. It's better to be low on gas than be low on minerals, obviously. Though Patches is mining a hell a lot more with those bases. Liberator sieges up. That's going to take down at least 2 tanks, maybe even 3. Okay, that's 3 tanks. Oh, barely saving that 1 tank. Now the Marine count, but there's no splits. Oh, that is not enough for Patches. And now Dazetwelve is actually empty on the bank. But a lot of Hellbats show up. And those Hellbats are going to do just fine against those Marines. There's a lot of Vikings as well. More tanks show up. Dazetwelve is going to try and just go into, I suppose it's like the 5th, 4th? I don't know. Oh, the next base on the map, like next closest base. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if Dazetwelve would go up into the main and just try to deal with the production. That's what Dazetwelve is going to do. Patches trying to just Patches is trying desperately to hold on. There's the stim forward, but these are blue flame +3 Hellbats. That is not what you want to do, Patches. Oh. That cloud is going to go down as well. The add-ons are going down. Obviously, those are not really producing that much. If you look at it, there's 22 Marines, 3 tanks, and well, now only 2 medevacs. SCVs are going to get pulled from out of nowhere. And this is some desperation move for Patches. Vikings are going to fight back against these Marines. There's a couple of tanks just trying to fight for Patches. Is that the last tank? No, there's 3 more tanks somewhere else. Now the Vikings are going to land. There's a damaged tank, and Dazetwelve decides to go back. Oh my goodness, what a scrappy game already, 31 minutes in. This is some amazing TVT, honestly. That's a lot of mules for Dazetwelve, finally occupying that bottom right side base. Just pumping out a bit of an economic lead. How many orbitals? We have 7 orbitals on the side of Patches as well, so could spare a couple of mules. Oh, but actually Patches is losing more SCVs. There's not that big of a difference in terms of workers. The army supply is also not the end of the world, of course. Oh, but Marines are not going to fare well against those Hellbats. I was waiting for the Thor switch actually, but it never happened, I guess. Oh my god, whoa. That's 30 mules. Imagine if these Hellions find their way into that mineral line with all the mules. Actually, the mules are also being pulled to fight. Poor mules. There's a couple of SCVs in the back, in the corner of this. Hellbats are going to deal with it. 38 SCVs remaining. A lot of mules are going down. My goodness gracious. 4 mules survive actually. 35 SCVs and 23 Marines with 4 tanks. There's 7 tanks on the side of Dazetwelve, so if Dazetwelve plays this patiently, it's going to be a big fat W for our Blue Terran. Supply gap is higher and higher, I'd say. Obviously, mech units produce a bit slower. Oh, the tank goes down. That wasn't even sieged. One more tank sieges on top of that ramp. Oh, and the landed Vikings. Oh, one more set of landed Vikings. Oh, and a few in the air as well. Beautifully done here. 12 SCVs remaining, and I think at this point we can say that Dazetwelve just punched through Patches' armor. Patches' armor is actually, well, if there is any armor on him at this point. There's no mech upgrades for Patches, so those tanks are obviously worse in terms of the damage output compared to Dazetwelve's tanks. So Patches is trying to hold on, trying to do something, but I guess we can call it over. Command center is going to try to float over. Actually, 2 command centers trying to get in position. This base is mined out pretty much. Gonna clean up a bit of this, so there's still 4 orbitals. If he can drop a couple of mules, I suppose he can try to do something with this. Maybe in the center one, the base in the center, because that also landed not too long ago. So we have 2 mules there, but yeah, that's not going to be enough. You also need scans, so the 8 command centers, the 8 orbital command centers for Dazetwelve going to pay off quite nicely. Okay, 2 more command centers in production for Dazetwelve. And a lot of Hellions and tanks. And of course Vikings as well. Yeah, I don't really see how Patches is going to deal with this. Tank is going to go down for Patches. He's just trying to do some nice maneuvers. Honestly, if he could have preserved a couple of SCVs, yeah, but the supply gap is 110 plus, so yeah. I think this is it. 30 supply, 11 SCVs. Yeah, there's a GG. And finally, after 35 grueling minutes, Dazetwelve takes Sacred Isles Winter Edition.